y'all, what's up? My name is Avery and today I'm here with a tag video for Tag Tuesday. So a while ago I was actually tagged to do the coffee tag video from Hannah from Being the Bookologist, and I will link her channel and video down below for y'all. Y'all should go totally check her out. I think she's about to hit 200 subscribers, so go follow her. And by the way, I don't like coffee, and coffee's not even good for me. Like, coffee's not good for people with social anxiety or anxiety overall. It just makes it way worse. So I'm like, thank God I don't even drink coffee, because that just make my life way more complicated than it should be. I got my water bottle, so that's what I'm drinking from today. So prompt number 1 is black. Name a series that was hard for you to get into but has some hardcore fans. For this one, I'm going with the same as Hannah from Being the Bookologist. I have to go with the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare, and just like the whole Shadowhunter series in general. I have never been able to really get into it. I remember I enjoyed the first book. I still have the first book back home, but I just haven't got into it. I think the second book is City of Ashes, I'm pretty sure, and I think I was listening to it on audio, and I even tried to read it physically, and it just wasn't happening. But that was like, I think, freshman year of high school, so it's been like 5 years. So I don't know if I'm gonna try and reread it. There's just so many books, so yeah, I just couldn't get into it for some reason. Prompt number 2 is Peppermint Mocha. Name a book that's more popular around the winter time or a festive time of year. And so I'm going with Halloween. Halloween's a festive time of year, and it's really close. It's October now, and I'm going with Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I just recently read this book for my British literature class, and it's the first time I read it, and it was actually really enjoyable. I also recommend the audiobook. It was really great, but this one I think pops up a lot in October or like Halloween time, because it's like Frankenstein, scariness, gothic literature, so this one definitely fills the bill for that. Prompt number 3 is hot chocolate. What's your favorite children's book? I have 2 for this one. I of course have The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. This is a classic that I just read over and over again. I talked about it in my booktube newbie tag over a year ago. I loved this book as a kid, read it over and over again. But another one I haven't talked about is one that I read over and over and over again, and I still have it to this day, the physical copy back home with all my book collection, and that is Barbie Rapunzel, like the old version with everything hand painted. Like, you can see the brush strokes, like it's painted illustrated. I loved it so much. I loved it so much. The movie was amazing. I was obsessed with the movie, but like the book, it was a book version of it, so like I could read it when I wanted to. Because back then I didn't have access to TV 24/7 like you do nowadays. Prompt number 4 is double shot of espresso? I don't drink coffee, I'm sorry. Name a book that had you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. For this one, I'm going with my most recent read, and that would be The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I was just like clinging to my seat reading this entire book. I loved it. The audiobook just made it even better, I think, and like to where I had like 5 hours or over 5 hours left in my audiobook, and like I just sat there and listened to it because I needed to know what happened. Oh, it was so good. This one definitely kept me on the edge of my seat like the whole entire time. Prompt number 5 is Starbucks. Name a book that you see everywhere. For this one, I'm going with And I Darken by Kirsten White. This book is on BookTube a lot. I have not read it yet, but if you didn't know, it's like a retelling of Vlad the Impaler, but with Vlad the Impaler as a woman, like it's gender bent, and it just looks so interesting, and people keep talking about it and raving about it. I just haven't read it yet, and I need to, but this is, yeah, everywhere on BookTube and the internet in general. Prompt number 6 is That Hipster Coffee Shop. Shout out a indie author. I don't really know the exact definition of an indie author. Like, I guess an author that self-publishes or is really small, I guess. But one that I think is really small that deserves more recognition is Lisa Kessler. She wrote the Moonlight series that I was like obsessed with last semester, and I just loved that first book so much. The series I was just like addicted to, and the characters just had me like hooked. I was just obsessed with them. But I will leave a link to like her Twitter page down below, because she talks about her books a lot on her Twitter. Prompt number 7 is Oops, I Got Decaf. Name a book that you are expecting more from. I have to go with Till Death by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I read this in September. It will be a part of my September wrap wrap-up. I was expecting so much more from this because I believe this is her most recent novel that she's written. One of my favorite books ever is this one, The Problem with Forever, and I love this book so much. And this one was just such a letdown for me, to be honest. The summary had me like so intrigued, like a girl who was like a victim of a serial killer like comes back to the town that she lived in, and like the cop that didn't save her like reconnects with her and like vows he won't let her get hurt again and all this stuff. It sounded good, like it had so much potential to it, and like I was like so excited. I was like, yes, I'll have another great read by Jennifer L. Armentrout because I love The Problem with Forever so much. It was okay. It's just, I found it so predictable, and it was just like overall unrealistic, so it's really let me down. And the last prompt number 8 is The Perfect Blend. Name a book that was both bitter and sweet, but in the end ultimately satisfying. For this one, I'm going with My Plain Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jodi Meadows. Jane Eyre is my favorite book, if y'all didn't know, and I'm so excited that there were like more Jane Eyre retellings being published, and this one I will say is my favorite one, but there's a point in this book where I was like, no, this is gonna be so bad because this certain thing happened. I can't tell you because of spoilers, but if you want to know, comment down below and I'll tell you. But like, I was just like, no, this thing is happening, and like it's just gonna like spiral, and I'm just gonna like hate it because this one character isn't who I thought they were anymore, and I was like so upset because I love this character in the original book. In the end, I was like, oh, it's so good. The end was so good. I loved it a lot. So there was some ups and downs for me reading this book, but ultimately I freaking loved it. So that is it for the questions. I do have a few people that I would love to tag in this. We have Ashley from Ashheart Books. We have Andrea from Book Ramble. We have Catherine Cassidley. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Let me know how to pronounce it down below. And finally, there's Matt from This Is Me. So I tag all of y'all. I also tag anyone out there watching this because I think this is a really fun tag to do, even if you don't drink coffee like me. I only drink water. Yeah. So there y'all have it. That was the coffee book tag. Again, thank you so much, Hannah, for tagging me in this video. I had so much fun making it and answering the questions. Anyways, thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all soon with a new video. Bye!